Hi everyone, welcome to this month's Facts and Fun. As always, Facts and Fun is our preschool nonfiction program where we read a few of our nonfiction books from here at the library, and then we do a couple of activities or crafts that have to do with that month's theme. This month's theme is oceans. I thought, what a great theme for summertime. Have you ever seen an ocean? Let's learn a little bit more about them. Our first book is actually about animals in the ocean, and it's called Animals of the Ocean, and it is by Kathleen Pohl. All right, let's find out about some animals that live in the ocean. The manatee. I am a manatee. I am big but gentle. Flapping my flippers, I swim slowly and graze on seagrass. I am called a sea cow, but I am not a cow. I am related to elephants. The sea otter. I am a sea otter. My fur keeps me warm in the ocean. I dive to catch crabs and clams. Then I float on my back and use my tummy as a dinner table. The manta ray. I am a manta ray. I am as flat as a pancake, but I am a fish. I swim in warm seas. My large fins flap like wings as I float like a cape in the water. The octopus. I am an octopus. I crawl on the ocean floor with my 8 long arms. If I lose an arm, I just grow another one. When I am afraid, I squirt out a cloud of ink and hide in it. The sailfish. I am a sailfish. The fin on my back looks like a sail on a ship. I am the fastest fish in the ocean. I use my sword-like bill to catch my dinner. Look out, tuna. The pelican. I am a pelican. I am a seabird, and I fish for food. From high in the sky, I dive into the sea. I scoop up fish with the stretchy pouch under my bill. The sea turtle. I am a sea turtle. With my strong flippers, I swim thousands of miles across the ocean. My shell is big, but I cannot hide in it, so I have to swim very fast to escape from enemies. So that was a few of the animals that live in the ocean. There are a lot more animals that live in the ocean. You can probably find books here at the library about them. Now let's do an activity with ocean animals. All right, everyone, let's do a fun activity with ocean animals. We just learned about a bunch of them, didn't we? And now we can do something with something that's from your kit. In your kit, you'll find some sheets of paper that look like this. They have numbers on them and boxes, and they have an octopus in the corner. We learned about octopuses, didn't we? Or is it octopi? It might be octopi. So you have these in your kit. You also have some ocean animal beads. They look like this. I'm hoping that you can see them. There's all different kinds of animals. There's turtles and dolphins and whales and seals, or maybe they're sea lions. I'm not sure. They look like this. I'll let you decide which one they are. So what you're going to do with the counting mats is you're going to count beads. Let's look at an example. Let's go with number 7. I think that'll be nice. So number 7 looks like this. It's a number 7. So what you're going to do is put your counting mat in front of you, and you're going to count out 7 beads and put them in the squares. So let's give that a try. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but I have 7 beads in my squares. Now, do you have to do it with the beads? No, of course not. You could use beans, you could use cotton balls, you could use whatever you wanted, even pennies. And then with the ocean animal beads, in your kit, you also have a pipe cleaner. And you could make a bracelet with your ocean animal beads if you'd like. Or you can just use the pipe cleaner to store them. It's completely up to you. Now, if you get really good at these counting mats, you could make your own at home. You could go all the way up to 100, although you don't have enough beads for 100, but you could use something else. It's a good way to practice your numbers. So have fun. Okay, now let's learn a little bit more about oceans. This is called oceans and seas. Oceans are bigger and seas are smaller, but they're both great big bodies of water. Let's learn a little bit more about them. This book is by Diyan Leake. Oceans. An ocean is a very big body of water. The land at the edge of an ocean is called the coast. There can be a beach by the ocean. Have you ever been to an ocean beach before? A beach is where the land goes down to the ocean. Oceans of the world. There are 5 oceans on Earth. The 2 that you probably have heard of are the Pacific and the Atlantic. Those are on both sides of the United States of America. This is a picture of the Atlantic Ocean. Seas of the world. A sea is like an ocean, but it is smaller. There are many seas on Earth. Let's see. These are a few that you might have heard of. The Caribbean Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Arabian Sea. But there are a lot more too. Living things in the ocean. Seaweed looks like a plant and grows in the sea. Sometimes there is seaweed on the beach. Have you ever seen seaweed on the beach? Sometimes it gets stuck in your toes when you're swimming, doesn't it? Shells are the homes of some animals that live in the ocean. Sometimes there are shells on the beach. Have you ever collected shells on the beach? Did you find some cool ones? Fishing in the ocean. People go out on the ocean in fishing boats. People catch fish in the salty water of the ocean. Waves on the ocean. An ocean can be stormy. Wind blows over the water and makes big waves. Having fun by the ocean. It is fun to spend time by the ocean, but stay safe. Always have an adult with you when you are near water. Oh, that's good advice, isn't it? Now that we've learned a little bit more about oceans and seas, let's make our own oceans on paper. All right, everyone, now we're going to make some oceans of our own on paper. We're going to make them 2 different ways, and this is going to be kind of messy, so you'll want to make sure that you do this on a table with a little something over it. We're only using watercolor paint and water, so it's not too messy, but it might be a little messy. This is what we're making today. This is an example of one of them. You'll see how I painted an ocean, and then I put ocean animal stickers on it. And that's what this one looks like. And the second one is a little hard to see, but I hope that you can see it. What I did is I was able to put ocean animals on my piece of paper with a white crayon, which is also in your kit. So why don't we go ahead and we'll go ahead and do this one first so I can show you how to do that. You have special paper in your kit that looks like this. It's called watercolor paper, and it's made to use with watercolors, and everyone has watercolors in your kit. I have a little bit bigger kit than you do, but you have the same sorts of colors in yours. Now, the first thing you need to do with watercolor paper is get it wet with water. So we're going to take our sheet of paper. Now, with your grown-ups' help, if you wanted to, you could run this underneath a faucet and make it nice and wet. Not so wet that it falls apart, but nice and wet on the top so that it's ready to go. If you don't want to use that way, you can have a cup of water, which you're going to need to paint with anyway, so definitely have a cup of water, and you can just use a paper towel. Now see, I put a paper towel in my water so that I would be all ready, so it's really messy and drippy. So you're going to take your paper towel that's already wet and kind of pat it on your paper so it gets nice and wet. You'll be able to tell that it's getting wet because it kind of changes color just a little bit. It gets a little darker. Now, like I said, you could run it under a faucet or you could do it this way. I'm doing it this way so I can stay on camera with you. All right, so we can have our paper be all nice and wet and shiny, and then it's ready to paint. Now, this will be lots of fun. We're going to do different colors that are in the ocean. We've seen some books already, and I grabbed this book. It's called Ocean Hide and Seek, and it's by Jennifer Evans Kramer and illustrated by Gary R. Phillips. And it has some beautiful pictures of colors that are in the ocean. Can you see the different colors? There's some dark colors and some really blue colors. Let's see if we can find, and some green. Oh my goodness, so many different colors of blues and greens and purples. Oh, that one's pretty. Do you see all the colors in that one? So we're going to try to make our piece of paper look like that. So we start with our wet piece of paper, and it's all nice and wet. And then we take our paints, we take our paintbrush, and we get it nice and wet in the water. Now, I'm going to start with, blue. That would make sense. Ocean is blue, but I can use all different colors too. So let's start with the blue. Now, I'm going to put some water into the blue color. I don't know if you can see this or not, to kind of soften up the paint a little bit. See right off that. And then I'm going to put my brush in there, get lots of paint on it. And I'm going to just start painting. Oh my goodness. Can you see that? See how I'm painting? And it spreads around a lot easier because the paper is wet. And if I wanted to spread it out more without making more color, I would just get my brush a little bit more wet and spread it out. So I just keep spreading the color. I really like the blue. But I'm thinking that I also saw some oceans have really like a dark purple on the bottom where it's deep. So I'm thinking that I'll put some purple in there too. So I go ahead and get the purple wet, just like I did the blue. And I'm going to put a little bit of purple on the bottom. Now, can you mix colors when you do this? Of course you can. You can mix some purples and some blues. Oh, that's awfully pink. See how that is a little bit more pink than I wanted it to be. So I could actually add a little bit of blue to it to get a different color. I can make my ocean any way I want to, and so can you. Now, I do have one hint for you. Don't mix all the colors together or you're going to get this yucky brown color. And yes, there's probably some areas of the ocean that are a yucky brown color. But if you want it to be pretty blues and purples and greens, make sure you don't mix all the colors together at once. Use your water to rinse out your brush in between. All right, let's pretend that I'm all done with this, okay? I'm not. You can see, actually, it would go this way. You need to let this completely dry. Once it's completely dry, then you can take the stickers that are in your kit and you can put them in your ocean. So they look like that. But just make sure that you let the paper dry completely or the stickers won't stick. Okay, I told you there was a second way of doing this too. So we'll set this to the side, even though it's wet. Remember I said that there was a second way to do it, and I'm really hoping that you can see this. You can take your dry piece of paper, because I know you have more than one, and you can take a crayon and you can draw whatever you like on your piece of paper. Now, I don't know if you can tell or not, but I drew a turtle and a starfish here at the bottom and a jellyfish. They might not show up very well in this light, but you can use the white crayon in your kit, or you could use a yellow crayon of your own, just something light. Now we learned many, many months ago about crayons, how they're made out of wax. That's why the watercolor paint does not stick to the wax. So that's what we'll be doing. So you can draw some pictures, and then after you've drawn the pictures, you can go ahead and wet your paper, and then you can paint. So you will end up with these as your project. If you want to do them all like this, perfectly fine. If you want to do them all like this, also fine. You decide. So go ahead and do your painting while we listen to our last book. How are everybody's oceans turning out? Are you using different colors of blue and purple and green? Did you decide to do it with stickers, or are you doing it with a light colored crayon? I bet you they're beautiful, just like the ocean is. Let's read one more book about oceans. This one is called The Sea Knows, and it is by Alice B. McGinty and Alan B. Havis, and it is illustrated by Stephanie Laberis. We are young, the sea is old. The sea has secrets to unfold. The sea knows. The sea knows huge, like the whale. The sea knows small. The sea knows short, and the sea knows tall. The sea knows spots. The sea knows shiny. The sea knows smooth, and the sea knows spiny. I love that picture. The sea knows strong. The sea knows weak. The sea knows hide, and the sea knows seek. The sea knows stars in shallow pools. Below it knows alluring jewels. The sea knows worlds of red and gold. There's some other colors that you can use in your sea painting or your ocean painting. The sea knows bright. The sea knows bold. That kind of looks like Nemo, doesn't it? The sea knows white and orange too. The sea knows silver and green and blue and blue and blue. We know that oceans are blue, don't we? We're making some of our own. The sea knows depths as black as ink. The sea knows float, and the sea knows sink. The sea knows splash. The sea knows bubble. The sea knows crash. The sea knows trouble. The sea knows wind and waves that tower. The sea knows storm. The sea knows power. The sea knows when the storms should cease. Cease means to end. The sea knows calm. The sea knows peace. Wow. Oceans and seas certainly do know a lot, don't they? I hope you know more about oceans and seas from our books today. I hope you enjoyed all of them. I also hope that you're enjoying your counting mats and maybe you made a bracelet with your ocean animal beads. And I especially hope that you're making beautiful ocean pictures out of your watercolor paints. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next month. Bye.